This week we're in Tecalote at a well-known van life beach. Tons of people here. And I was hanging out with my friend Charlie, who's from British Columbia, Canada. Look at what she can do. She's also a pretty good photographer. She got this shot while out paddle boarding. But while we were here and camping, I was in a little tiny tent. She was in her rig. I saw this bus, and I met the owner, and I had to take you inside because you're not going to believe the way he converted it into a tiny cottage. We're sitting in your amazing bus that you built out.
Thank you.
Why did you decide to do this?
So let's see, where did it begin? I had a friend who became a nomad in like I think 2019, and he was like the first person I ever saw that was like a van lifer. He built a trailer out and just hit the road and did that through 2020. And then 2021, I was going through a divorce, and I had started to go on road trips by myself and was like, oh, this is really cool. Like, I want to figure out how to do this. And when the divorce started, it took about a year. And so throughout that year, I was like, okay, let me plan and plot and figure out like when this finishes, what can I do? And so I had a truck, and I was like, what's the easiest way to hit the road? And so I put a sliding camper in the back, and I was like, I'm out. So I got divorced in June of 22, and in May I hit the road. So
Have you looked back?
No. No, not one bit. I've been back to Massachusetts once for like a holiday, and not in years. So I don't even go east of Colorado anymore at this point.
One of the things I find as a relative newbie, like a year and a half, 18 months, is the character that each person's rig has is sort of either on purpose or I just bought it and I'm going to do some changes to it. Yours is a cozy cabin. Was that intentional?
No, actually. So I knew I wanted a bus, and I knew that I didn't really want like to paint a whole lot. And the friend of mine who helped me build it is a van builder, and his whole thing is like wood vibes. But I couldn't have planned this any better had I planned it. Like all of the stripes and the different colors and stuff all just happened to be when we started cutting up the 4x4s that we found. We were gifted them by an old friend named Nancy, hence the name of the bus is Nancy. I named it after her because I wouldn't have been able to have this without her. And once we started cutting them up, we were like, oh my God, let's do the striped wood cabin kind of experience. And then it just came like that. And then I love it. And yeah, it feels very like homey.
So you mentioned found. So this is basically a home built mostly with whatever you could salvage to reduce price and environmental impact?
Yeah, so I only purchased this countertop and some...
Oh, that's the live edge, the beautiful... Oh, look at that.
Yeah, and some 2x4s and some plywood. And the rest was reclaimed. Like even my drawer faces were wood from Nancy. Her like late husband had collected over the years. And yeah, everything we could find, we did. And yeah.
I'll take some shots so that we can kind of overlay it over this interview to show what you're referring to, because it's gorgeous. We are here. I'll show people the beautiful view.
The beach.
There we go. This is our view. Last night when we were all together, you were talking with my new friend Ron about the community. And there are probably already 50 to 70 rigs here, but there's a big party happening this weekend where there will be more. What is the community?
Oh, That's a great question.
Yeah.
I would say the nomadic community is a hodgepodge of what I would consider misfit toys. Of like, you know, it's like all the people
God, I love that.
like, there's a lot of people who like didn't fit with the norm of what I call the matrix. Is, you know, it's like your cookie cutter world where, you know, the white picket fence, the job, the, you know, all that kind of stuff. And you get all these people who either were forced into van life or joined it for whatever reason and found this world that we all live in. And the community is a really interesting thing because it's like you get all these people that hit the road thinking, I'm going to go do this by myself and be adventurous. And then you find people who do that with you and you're like, whoa, friends.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because all of your friends move around and it's like, how do I stay in contact? And so then it becomes this like, you meet some friends, you meet some more friends, and then you find out that there's an event and you're like, whoa, what is that? Like, I was alone for 8 months and then I found this event called Schoolie Palooza, which is like
very famous in our community. Very famous.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I met so many people and then went to Baja from there and then found out that there were more events. And through those events, you find your like community members. And that's how we all kind of meet each other throughout the years. You're like, oh, you know, I might not see most of these people for 6 to 10 months, but every time I do, I get closer with them. And then it's like each time I go to an event, I get a little bit closer with some people. And then between the events is when you spend time with them. And so then you get like, you pick your friends, you're like, oh, we vibe together. And now it's like from this big circle, these tiny little circles start to travel together. And so it's like, I see Ron all the time. Like we are constantly going in the same places. I see like, you know, my friends Daniel and Melissa all the time. And like Mike, I've known for years, we travel in like similar circles. And so once you meet enough people in this quote unquote community, you then have your friends that you're able to see more frequently. And honestly, once you meet enough people, you never have to be alone again, which is nice.
So your community isn't a physical space.
No, it's like this amorphous, you can't put a pin on it, kind of like where it is. It's the community is the people. It's not a thing.
It's not geography.
No, it's, yeah.
In that geography, there are places where we are not welcome.
Yeah.
There are places that don't want us around. There are not a lot of court sites that's in, for those that don't know, that's in Arizona, and a lot of us have been there, that welcome, because we're good for business. We're good for, you know, the economic development of a town. Why do you think we're not welcome?
I feel like a lot of people have a hard time discerning the difference between a homeless person and a van lifer. And just because you don't have a house doesn't mean you're not like a member of society.
You have a house, it's just on wheels.
Yeah,
you have a house on wheels.
Houseless.
Yes.
Quote unquote.
Houseless.
And so yeah, I think a lot of people see van lifers as like leeches on the system, and there are like the bad apples in every place. You know, you do get people who like do live in a van that leave trash everywhere or dump their pee jug out in the sidewalk or, you know, whatever. Like I've been so many places where there's just like garbage all over the place. But I frequently notice that is more with like the weekenders. You get like the weekend warriors that come out and they just like leave trash and stuff. And
oh God, up in the beaches here.
Yeah.
I was cleaning up other people's garbage because I don't want it to be ruined for the rest of us, you know?
And so it's, yeah, like I think a lot of people just don't see what we see. They just on the surface see like a person that lives in a van. And like, I remember the last time the police were called to came knocking on my door, and I was like, hey, like I have a full-time job, and I'm like, I'm in after the sunset. I'm up before sunrise. Like I I'm really trying to be a productive member of society here. And they were like, oh, okay. Like, you're a regular person.
Right. And for people that don't know, one of the things that we have to do is if we park anywhere overnight, we look for a lot of different signs that we're not
Yeah.
going to disturb people, that people aren't going to call the police about a
Mm-hmm.
strange vehicle. And in this world, stealth camping is the
Yeah.
term, at least that I use. And it's because not everybody wants us around.
I'm very aware when I park in places. Like, I look for signs. I look for, like, is there houses on both sides? Like, what do the houses look like? Am I gonna stay there for a whole day? Then I'm gonna look for a place that's like a little bit more secluded.
Mm-hmm.
I'll find like parks, or it's like I have a lot of checklists to check off before I'm like, I feel comfortable parking here for the night. And my bus is not stealth by any means necessary. So like, I'm living in here for sure. And so I try and be really
respectful.
Yeah, very respectful, especially like I have dogs, and like, you want to make sure that you're not just like ruining someone's vibe in the neighborhood. And so like, yeah, I don't go to the nice neighborhoods.
Do you get people who are not van lifers who say to you, I wish I could?
All the time.
Right?
So I have friends.
Yet it's so judged. That people will whisper to you, I wish I could do that.
And it's so frequently people will be like, I wish I could. And I'm like, you can. You just don't want it enough. Because it's like, I get if you have kids, you have a life like that you've built. Yeah, like it's more difficult. But I know families who travel full time. I know like couples, solo people who are 60, 70, like 18.
I've interviewed 80-year-olds.
Yeah. And
because their social security doesn't go far enough. And they have said to me, I have never been happier. And, for an 80-year-old, and that was at a women's event where people were making friends and building community, and there were 100 women there. And a lot of them were very senior citizens, and they've never been happier. Yeah,
it's a cheap way to live. Like, I would not be able to live in a house or an apartment I haven't had a job since April. And it's January. So, like, I would never be able to do this long if I had to pay rent and utilities.
I don't think that you could rent somewhere with this view.
Nope. I have a better view than most people.
You do, and a community around you.
All
right, so one last question. If you had any advice for someone who, like me, sat on the fence, drew all my plans, watched every YouTube video, and then finally made the leap, what advice would you give to someone who is so close?
Just take the jump. You don't need a fully built rig. You don't need the $100,000 van. Like, that's, I think, what stops a lot of people is they're like, oh, I have to, like, I see all these YouTubers or these influencers and they have this like really nice thing that they built. And it's like, man, I know people who live in cars. Like, it is, I think that's the key ingredient is if you just want to do it, take the leap. Like, and you can always go back. Like, it's usually a two-way door. So it's like, so you can always figure it out. And, you can build your rig as you go. You can stop somewhere if you hate it. Like, it's not a one-way street that you can ever go back.
Right. You can always go back if you want to go back to a mortgage and rent.
Right. Or like you can go to a new city and just start over. Like it's, if you're planning it and you're planning it and you're planning it, like a lot of times, like I've been a skateboarder my whole life, and I equate it to like people who want to drop in on their first ramp. The longer you stand there, the scarier it gets. And it's the same with van life, is the longer you're planning it and you're thinking about the possibilities of what could go wrong, like think about what could go right. And you're just like, just do it, because it's great. And there's amazing people out here. And like, I've never been happier. I've looked for close friends my entire life. I'm 36 years old, and I have the closest people I've ever had who I can finally be myself around now.
Because they understand you.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, let's take a break, and you're going to show us the few things that
Cool.
you were referring to. And thank you very, very much for talking.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It was nice to meet you. All right, well, show us what you got.
Okay. Well,
there's a library behind
yeah, so one of my favorite things is I built this recently. This was still the like white metal bus, and I was like, I need a place for my books. Every nomad has like a really inconvenient thing that they hold on to, and mine is books. So I built this, and yeah, I've got like 60 books or something, and I always like to like lend them out to people. So
it also looks really pretty.
Thank you. Yeah, it also it's like backlit, so when I turn the lights on, like the books get all lit up. And
nice.
This was the original from the original bus. It said no sunflower seeds, and I was like, this is adorable, and so I framed it and I kept it. So
very cool.
Then let's
very
see.
Cool.
This is my kitchen.
Yes, with all the, and that's the which you didn't salvage. That was a purchase.
Yeah, so I got this from a guy on Facebook Marketplace. I really wanted a live edge countertop. It was the thing I spent the most on because it just was like, just felt really nice, and you know, got this sweet little handle here, and it just is a really nice look. And so it's called Bird's Eye Maple.
Nice.
These were the drawer faces I was mentioning in the interview. Every drawer was just a piece of wood that we found on Nancy's property, and her husband had collected them over the course of his lifetime and had no reason for them, just was like, I like wood. And so yeah, we found reasons for all of them, and yeah, all these holes just kind of came naturally. It was like I didn't want to put handles anywhere, and so these are really nice. And my trash is right here, so I can just like stuff things in there. Yeah.
And did you purposely decide on propane for cooking versus an inverter, or not an inverter? You know what I mean?
Induction. Yeah, because induction just takes a lot of electricity, and like I have the 20-pound, like the whatever, the big propane that goes in your grill,
family size.
Yeah, and like that'll last me 6 months. Oh. So like I never need to refill it. And the oven was a non-negotiable for me. I will put like frozen pizzas in here, and like you have friends that bake things, right, and so I get free baked goods
because you have an oven.
Because I have an oven. So that
is very, very smart. And I noticed a vent up top. Was it there when you bought the bus?
No, so I cut this out. In hindsight, I would have put 2 of these in. Okay. I don't want to have one in the back. I wish I could have one that went like sucked air in and pushed air out. I think that's one of the few changes that I would have made in hindsight. Another
simply for airflow and ventilation.
Yeah, I mean I have 10 windows, so it's like I don't really have to worry about that too much. Yeah. But
your view is pretty amazing from your kitchen, but you also have storage up top.
Yes.
And that was intentional when you first built it, or was that part of phase 2?
I first built it. I put this here, and a lot of people will put cabinets here, and you'll notice like behind you there are no cabinets because it just like you would hit your head if there were overhead cabinets, and B, like a cabinet would be right here in front of my face. And so I just wanted to have this really nice, like open air experience, but still allow myself to hang, you know, all my little accoutrements and stuff. So, yeah. And so like, I'd really just like to have the window view. So I didn't cover up any of my windows.
And you have a Dometic.
I do.
In our life is a very highly respected.
She is a good fridge.
That was a good investment. Was that on purpose? That you wanted a really good fridge?
Yeah. So I actually got an Iceco fridge first, and that one, not great.
Okay.
And so Iceco is not gonna like this, but that one I needed, I think 3 of them replaced over and over.
Oh.
And so by the 3rd one, I made a huge deal and was like, I want my money back. Like, and I pushed and pushed and pushed, and they were like, fine, we'll give it back to you. And so I used that to purchase a Dometic, and I have not had an issue since.
Is it like super huge? Does it go behind the pillows? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this is the 75
I was
liter.
wondering how you accessed it. And so your counter rate, that's brilliant.
Yeah, so I've got fridge, freezer.
Wow.
For anyone building this, I wouldn't suggest this flip up thing because my largest counter space is unusable if I'm cooking. So like all of this is probably my one only other change is I would have had a fridge that slides out because all this stuff needs to move and then I can flip it up. And
it's funny you say that because I'm building mine with the fridge under the bench seat.
Smart move.
So I feel validated talking to you.
Oh, super smart. Yeah. Okay. So like my bench is storage.
Storage. Yeah.
I keep all my dog food and dog related things in there.
And you have 2 dogs. One is without sight.
Yeah. And she's my blind girl.
The other one likes to play 24 hours a day.
Yeah, he's a psychopath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to have a seat, and then we're gonna talk to people about your cozy bedroom.
Cool.
Because you kind of built these half walls.
Yeah,
so it's kind of cocoon-like.
Yeah, this is pretty rare, I would say. Most people will just like keep this open and have the bed just come to the edge of whatever. I wanted a cozier vibe in here, and I also wanted the ability to like have things hanging because I don't have overhead storage.
Right.
So this really allowed me like a wall. There's stuff hanging on this side too, and
there she is.
Yeah, that's my girl.
There she is. And this box over your bed, is that storage?
So funny story about that is there is what's left of an air conditioner in there. It never worked, and I couldn't, because I was in Moab, I couldn't get anyone in town to drain the Freon from it. And because it is like dangerous to do that yourself, I just opted out of trying because like one of the guys was like, "Oh yeah, just cut the lines and run." And I was like, I don't like that. So we cut it as far back as we could, and then just boxed around it, which it worked, but I have hit my head on that so many times.
Yeah.
I wish I had just figured it out.
You are a tall human.
Yeah.
Did you invest in a good mattress?
I did.
Was that a priority for you?
Huge priority, especially in van life. A lot of people build the size and then cut a mattress to size. I built, this is a full-size mattress. I built this to the size of a full-size mattress and then just was able to buy like a regular mattress instead of like, memory foam that you just cut up. Yeah. This is a real mattress. So.
And you sleep side to side and you're tall.
Mm-hmm. And I still have all this space.
Yeah.
Like there's so much space in here. I mean, you got a bust 8 feet wide. So.
Okay. And the question everybody asks me, I don't know about the rest of you, but ask me is, do you have a bathroom on board?
Yes and no. So I have a composting toilet. It is actually right underneath you.
I'm sitting on it.
Yeah, so it's this thing right here slides out, and because the other option was to have like a flip up, and it's easy. It slides out. The weird thing is I poop in the middle of my living room, so like and these are all face height. So if I'm ever
Can you wave to people?
Yeah. If you see me sitting in the middle of my living room, I am on the toilet. So yeah, like
aren't we all?
Right.
Aren't we all?
So I, usually have to cover my door, just to like, sit on the toilet depending on where I'm parked, and because I didn't build a shower because I wanted a closet. The closet was another non-negotiable for me.
Which is right beside where I'm sitting in here.
So this is my closet.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And your little mirror?
Yeah, I didn't actually have a mirror until like 3 months ago. Okay. So it's having to fold my clothes I don't like. So
you're hanging them up.
Yeah.
Okay, last question. What would you change if you had advice for someone else building a bus?
So like the couple things I mentioned is I'd have 2 fans.
Yep.
I would not have this lift up to access this.
And you wouldn't bash your head on the old air
conditioning.
Correct.
I would go the extra mile if you think something's going to annoy you down the road, if it annoys you now, it'll annoy you a 50x down the road. And so I think really hard about what is going to be a problem and do the extra work to make it happen.
Sorry, I have one last question. I forgot. What power are you like? Do you have solar up top?
I have 600 watts of solar and 400 amp hours of lithium batteries in the garage.
So power is not a concern for you.
not really. No. Like if it's cloudy in the winter, I might have to run my bus to charge the battery.
So if you're in Oregon or Washington in the
right.
winter time, right?
But like, you know, I have the mini Starlink and it's 12-volt converted, and so like I think the most power that draws is like my lights. And when I'm like
your oven is propane as well.
Yeah. So it's
not a separate, it's okay.
It doesn't use electricity and whatnot. So like I think my fridge and my lights is really all that is like battery operated.
Well, thank you for the tour, Nick.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh, and I forgot to focus in on your beautiful sink with your amazing tap. Look at that.
It's a high-powered sink. So...
I'd be washing my hair in that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I built it so that this window is an emergency window.
Yeah.
And it swings out like a door. And so I can pull this sink outside and hose myself off, or the dogs or whatever. And it's the only window I don't have screened, so I can also just like put this out the window.
Put it outside and rinse off your feet or whatever.
Yeah.
Again, did I mention to people the view from your kitchen? It's $1 million view.
It is.
$1 million view.
I built this table to swing out, so when I did have a job, my desk is here.
Right.
And so I'm like, I get to just look out the windows all the time, which is dope.
It is dope. I'm too old to say dope, but I will use your your lead there. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Appreciate your time. And we'll end on the beautiful view. Thank you, Nick.
Hell yeah.